Hi everybody, I'm John Holbeshan, and weather here in Nanaimo is getting warmer, so I thought I'd show how I make a very delicious homemade ice cream. So friends who have tasted it say it's the best they've ever had. I don't know if they're just being kind. So the biggest hurdle for most people when they make homemade ice cream is having a way to churn and freeze the ice cream mixture. We picked up this particular machine about 30 years ago. It's about a 50-year-old machine, and it'll probably outlive most machines on the market today. I've tried different recipes over the years. I picked up this particular recipe on the internet and modified it a little bit. There's a base recipe that I use, and it can be modified to change the flavor by adding berries, lavender, mint. Chocolate's a little more complicated, but it's well worth it. Chocolate's Mufita's favorite. Vanilla is actually my favorite. So there's 3 different processes that go into this. Part of it's whipped, part of it's cooked, and then those 2 come together and then we churn. So we'll start with the mixing. So for the mixing, we need egg yolks, and we'll save the whites for something else. 1/4 cup of sugar, and then we just let that mix at high speed. Now normally I would have this going while doing the cooking, but it gets loud, so I'll hold off on that. For the cooking part, we need to add the milk. Now, a key component of this is goat's milk instead of cow's milk. It adds a lot more flavor. I know a lot of people are turned off by that, but it really is good. Cornstarch. Cornstarch isn't really necessary, but it makes the ice cream a little more silky. It's a pinch of salt. I use an 1/8 of a teaspoon. Then that mixture gets cooked on the stove until it just starts to boil. So you need to be mixing it while it's heating. Okay, and then just as it starts to boil, we add it to the blender and let it mix at low speed. That'll end up cooking the eggs that were in the blender already. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. This is still warm, but it's not hot to the touch. This has been chilling, so we can now add this ice cream maker. Now at this point we add the vanilla and we let it churn until it starts to thicken up. So you can see it's starting to thicken up. So it's been about a half an hour. This is ready to put in a container. I've got the next batch ready to go, and I've got the chocolate mixture ready to go on the stove. So the ice cream maker has a timer. I don't use it because every batch seems to firm up a little differently. Now if this were the last batch, I would take the paddle out and clean it right out, but since I'm just making another batch right away, I don't have to do that. And then that goes into the freezer to firm up a little bit more. So for chocolate, same base as the vanilla, except we're adding some baker's chocolate unsweetened and some cocoa. And when I make the ice cream in batches like this, I always start with vanilla, finish with chocolate, so that I don't have to clean up all the equipment in between. So the ice cream's firmed up, and now the only thing left to do is sit back and eat it. That's good. Oh, hello.